So I found Indian Forrest Gump on Netflix, and it is everything you'd think when you hear the words Indian Forrest Gump on Netflix, aside from dance choreography, which I would pay good money to see. Forrest Gump break dancing on Jenny's tombstone, that would be something. And unfortunately, they don't have that. Anyway, I was kind of interested and I started watching it, and I was genuinely surprised at how shit it was. This movie is tragic. It's obviously an Indian take on the movie Forrest Gump, and honestly, it's as if Forrest Gump himself wrote the screenplay. It's pretty tone deaf in a lot of instances. It's not original in any way, shape, or form other than the fact the story is ported to India. This is like the only thing that caters to the Indian audience. It came out in 2022, which is almost 28 years later than the original. I don't know why they chose this year for it to come out. I don't know if people are like, you know what we should redo? Forrest Gump. And I'm not sure if they really understood the fact that the main character, whose name is Lal Singh, that's the Forrest Gump of India, he has some sort of weird speech patterns that feel like they're disrespectful. I don't know who it's disrespectful to, but I'm going to find out. So, you know, I'm someone who loves movies, and Forrest Gump is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I feel like upon seeing this Indian version, I almost needed to make this. Like I had to make this roast. And I've also been getting into Bollywood cinema, so it just came at a perfect time. So prepare to have this broken down. I hope that you enjoy this review / roast. But by the way, if you haven't watched Forrest Gump, it's a movie that came out in 1994 starring Tom Hanks, who's the father of course, Chet Hayes, who's a Jamaican white rapper. The movie is about a simple man who lives an extraordinary life. As I said, it came out in 1994. It was pretty famous for using CGI to like explore characters and do lots of visual things that hadn't been done before, because in 1993 CGI was a big thing. It started coming out in the movie Jurassic Park was the first time it was like fully used. And so in Forrest Gump they use it in the ping pong scenes. They add the ball CGI tracking. Tom Hanks is not that good at table tennis. They also use it on Lieutenant Dan's legs and the fact that he doesn't have any. And when I was younger I was like,
God damn. That is a very committed actor to the role. He just chopped his legs off just for a movie. Wow.
didn't know. And they also use it to digitally put Forrest Gump in historic scenes to make it look like he was actually there. The movie has a lot of landmark things. It's historically preserved in the National Film Library of America, and it won 6 Oscars, including Best Actor for Tom Hanks. But the remake is made by one of the legends of Bollywood, and his name is Amir Khan. Now, Amir Khan is one of the 3 Khans of Bollywood. I learned this, by the way. Shah Rukh Khan, who's my absolute favorite, Amir Khan, and Salman Khan. All 3 actors have had very illustrious careers. They're very good actors. They've entertained billions of people. And Amir Khan is a fantastic actor in all his other movies. In this movie, I don't know what the hell happened. He himself bought the rights to the screenplay. His company made it. So it's sort of like him, you know, being like, I want the role of Forrest Gump. And I don't know what happened, but not only did I not like it, India didn't. It bombed at the box office. And do you know how bad the movie has to be for a billion people to be like, not going to see Forrest Gump? It's bad. The worst thing that happens in this movie, I just want to say right off the bat, is that is something that the character Lal Singh says throughout the movie, and I have no idea why they added it in. I don't know if the screenwriter did it or Amir Khan just decided this is what my character is going to do, but he says so many times that I feel like it's disrespectful to anyone who has a mouth. And I'm going to do a little drinking game because Lord knows I can't watch this sober. Every time he does I'm going to take a shot. You can do this as well, but please use something less potent. Alright, let's get into the video. Okay, so we start off with a disclaimer. This film is an Indian adaptation of Forrest Gump, which is already the funniest shit I ever heard. Someone in India was like, you know what we need? Forrest Gump, but Indian. Like he can run, but like Indian running, so not that fast. I don't know why we needed a brown Forrest Gump. Like there was already a white one in Alabama. I don't need a Mumbai Forrest Gump to be running things, okay? They also say no animals were harmed in the making of this film. I don't think any animals were in the film, which is kind of impressive. So I'm going to do a lot of comparing to the original movie, and the opening shot of Forrest Gump was a feather that lands on his shoe, and he picks it up, and then he starts talking. The opening shot of Lal Singh is a feather that comes from the depths of heaven itself. Like the feather starts from the top of India. Some bird was really flying really high and like got hit by a plane, and that's what happened, because that is a very high up feather. I also fast forwarded this part because it takes approximately 3 minutes and 20 seconds for the feather to land on this dude's feet. I sped it up to 4 times speed, and even then it took a minute. So we're treated to shots of India and the platform that Lal Singh is going on. He's instead of on a bench in a train at this point, so that's, I guess, some different point. In the original, of course, he's on a bench, waiting for the bus. Whew, 3 minutes and 19 seconds. Wow. So there we go. We're greeted to the main character, Lal Singh on his way to see his Jenny. And I really, I actually watched this movie with my best friend, and I was asking her, how Lal talks, because I don't know if you know, I'm not really well versed in any language other than English. I'm not actually from India, so this is tough for me. Lal doesn't seem to put on an accent. I think the actor was just trying to. It's a bit different because in English you can be like, oh, Tom Hanks doesn't really talk like that.
Like to thank Jenny for
Yeah.
Oh, she's dead.
Jenny, why'd you have to die?
I just running.
He gets horny when he talks about Tom Hanks.
It's harder for me to distinguish his acting choices here. But I'll tell you what, this movie's sound effects are wrong. This poor girl sits down on a train, and they make the worst sound effect of all time. Did the whole train need to move just because she's a little overweight? Did you need to make the sounds of a horror movie just because she sat down? Okay, so here it is. Here, I'm just gonna prepare for the shot. If you were on a train and someone made these sounds, how would you react? Really? Really?
Really?
Would you not kick someone off the train for This is the first of many that Lal Singh Chadha is going to do, so you better get used to it. Bottoms up. So then he does the thing where he pours the spicy water on the golgappas. Something I learned while watching this. I didn't know that was the thing. And then he offers it to her because his box of chocolates is golgappas.
My mom always said life was like a box of
golgappas.
You never know what you're gonna get.
मेरी मम्मी कहती थी कि जिंदगी गोलगप्पे जैसी होती है, पेट पले ही पर जावे, मन नहीं परता.
So that's the equivalent of life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. That's Forrest Gump's version. His one is like, life is like a box of golgappas. Your tummy wants more, but what is it?
पेट पले ही पर जावे, मन नहीं परता.
Your tummy may be full, but your heart always craves more. Wow.
मैं सिर्फ लाल सिंह का चड्डा. साफ है बिल्कुल. मेरी मम्मी कहती थी कि जूते बंदे दा.
Okay, so apparently Forrest Gump's mom used to say a lot of things. Indian Forrest Gump's mom used to say lots of analogies or allegories or all sorts of shit that Lal Singh probably couldn't understand, and she's probably just a dick for teaching him in analogies which he's just not able to understand. But not only is life like a box of golgappas, shoes are also like an identity card.
Identity card होंदे हैं. बंदे दे चेहरे से कम ते उदे जूतों से ज़्यादा पता चलता है.
Judge a man by his shoes, not his face. Because who cares about facial features when you can look down at a man's shoes? And if a man doesn't have shoes, then he's homeless, and you can judge him for being that. Thanks, Lal Singh. You really taught me how to be a non-judgmental person. Thanks a lot.
पुराने हो गए ना. वैसे तो मैंने लाइफ में बहुत सारे जूते पहने हैं.
So then the movie goes along into the classic Forrest Gump thing where he talks about the shoes he's worn in his life, and it goes back to a previous version of Lal when he was a little boy, and they have those like leg braces, which I never got from Forrest Gump. I never understood what happened or like what was wrong with his legs that they needed to put those stiff braces on, but I guess this is part of the movie. Everyone has the braces.
मम्मी कहती थी जादू दे जूते हैं वो।
ये जादू दे जूते हैं लाल।
कौन?
चल शाबाश।
अभी भी कहता हूँ इसके पैर बिल्कुल अच्छे हैं, बस इसके दिमाग में शैतान है।
So this is the Indian doctor in the movie. Now, keep in mind, just keep his face in mind because he's going to come again and again and again throughout this movie. It's also just very telling that Indian doctors themselves, this is just a thing. If you're brown, you'll know. The doctor was like, he's completely fine. It's in his mind while actually fixing him. Can you imagine having a doctor who treats you and then says it's in your mind? Like you come there and you're sick and he's like, here's some medication, but it's all in your head. You can walk, you just don't want to walk. That's why I put braces on you, you lazy, stupid kid. What a horrible doctor.
मेरा नाम पहले लाल नहीं था जी।
Oh shit, they're driving a tractor now. This wasn't in Forrest Gump. Do they have a tractor in Forrest Gump? Mama always said life was like a tractor.
इस साल मैं पैदा हुआ ना जी, ते वो वापस ही नहीं आए।
They do that scene, that exact same scene that Lieutenant Dan was in when Forrest Gump is like Lieutenant Dan had a forefather who fought in every single war. So yeah, this is just the Indian version of that. Also, I just want to say, this lady is driving the tractor really, really badly. She's turning the wheel like it's a game of Mario Kart.
लाल है पकड़ चल।
So in the original Forrest Gump, Forrest's shoe gets stuck in a gutter and people laugh at him. And then Sally Field, who is Forrest Gump's mom, is like, Forrest, if God intended you to be the same, he would have made everybody have braces. And she like sort of shelters him from people who laugh at him. In Lal Singh Chadha, all that happens is a nice Indian man asks if he can help. And this lady's like, no, he's perfectly normal.
मैं ले लेता हूँ।
ओए तू अपना काम कर, वो खुद उठाएगा।
What the hell?
आपका बच्चा अलग है, देखिए बहन जी।
Now comes one of my favorite scenes in Forrest Gump is when the mom asks if he can get into school and then the guy's like, your child's different. He's not smart. What happens in that scene is honestly like a really good piece of directing. The director, Bob Zemeckis, he directed it in such a way that you can't do this in Eastern cinema. Let me just say that. With Bollywood films, a lot of them are seen as family coming attractions, so you can't do things like imply sexual acts or have those deviancies be part of the movie. In the original Forrest Gump, Sally Field ends up banging that dude just so that her son could go to school. And he comes out in that one scene, he's like, boy, your mama sure does love you. It's a really amazing scene that implies that she loves him so much that she's willing to do anything for him to get an education. In this movie, they take the shortcut. It doesn't have as much of a sting, or it doesn't have as much of a desperation to it to see this man succeed. This woman already owns a tractor and now is just trying to get him to go to school. She's not banging anyone. All she's doing is saying, I'll cook for you, which is what happens in the scene.
हम उसे अपने स्कूल में एडमिशन दे ही नहीं सकते। आप तो जी उसे वो स्कूल में डालो जहाँ
मैं रोज आके खाना बना देंगी, घर दी साफ सफाई भी कर दूंगी और
आप बिना बहन जी।
Also, from that word, pardo, I'm not really sure what it is. Apparently, again, I had asked for clarification on this. They switch between Hindi and Punjabi, and I don't know why, because those are two very different languages, and the movie actually caught a lot of flack for the fact that some people couldn't understand a lot of the language in the movie, or they went into the movie not knowing that it was going to be in multiple dialects, which I don't know why they chose to do that and then not stick with that. That's like having, Forrest Gump be like, my mama always said, and then fully going into Chinese.
My mom always said.
But anyway, Lal Singh Gump over here is now going to school because the mom said she'll clean and cook for the principal, I think. So that's all it took. He just wanted to cook.
स्कूल दा पहला दिन, मेरी जिंदगी दा सब तो डरावना और
So now it's Lal Singh Chadda's first day of school. He's got the biggest backpack in the world, and his mom has not dropped him off close to school. She's made a boy who can barely walk the furthest distance on earth. He's clearly gonna get late.
रुक जाओ ना। अच्छा ठीक है, मैं यहीं पे बैठूंगी।
Look at this motherfucker. He's walking at the slowest rate possible in life. The other kids are running into class. He's gonna be late. You're not only gonna make him like the talk of the town and the fact that he has bionic legs, he looks like Optimus Prime. This man cannot get to school on time, so the teachers are gonna hate him too. You see what I mean? Everyone's in class by the time he gets there. Just the act of Lal Singh walking into class makes everyone so annoyed that they all sit down in their seats and get to work. That's how annoying he is, that people actually want to go to class and go to work.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
मेरे दोस्त की सीट है अच्छा नहीं पिछला
So just like the bus scene, when Forrest Gump goes onto the bus and he meets Jenny, he's now meeting his Jenny, whose name is Rupa de Sosa.
यहाँ बैठ जाओ
इन्ना सोना चेहरा
myself लाल सिंह चड्ढा myself Rupa de Souza
हमेशा साथ साथ रहते जैसे आलू दे साथ गोभी.
Yeah, so upon meeting Rupa, that's his Jenny. My Jenny is Rupa. They have like a bond, a kinship, and in Indian cinema and Eastern cinema, you have to write a song that explains how you're feeling. In Western cinema, writing something that explains the situation is called exposition. And if you have too much exposition, everyone in Western cinema hates you because you're feeding it to the audience and therefore it defeats the purpose of a visual medium. The whole point is to have symbolism and other things. However, in Eastern cinema, not only do they tell you, they will literally write a song to explain what's going on. In case you fell asleep at the movie and woke up at that point, now you know and you caught up to what's happening. The only thing better would be if they started dancing and doing a choreography number with his bionic legs. That would have been funny. I was waiting for that. I didn't get that, so I don't like this. Oh, she also does this weird thing where she looks at a plane. She sees the plane in the sky and then finds one on the ground and thinks she can do magic. It's actually a really cute moment because she gets Lal Singh to look at a plane and then in her hand has the plane. So it's almost as if she caught the plane because he's so stupid. He's a stupid idiot.
But you don't say that.
And then she brings the plane down and says, I caught it. It was a cute moment, but whoever directed this movie made it weird and creepy. As you can see, she puts it in her breast pocket. She points to the plane, grabs it. She puts it in her pocket, and instead of taking it out and showing Lal Singh the plane, she gets him to touch her chest. She gets him to touch. It's very weird. It's very weird.
Oh, aeroplane
Not good. Whoever directed this, no. That is a no-no. What on earth are you doing, man? All you had to do is take it out and then have Lal be like, oh, you caught the plane. What in God's name is going on? What are you doing, director? This is easily avoidable and shouldn't happen in cinema. I should not be looking at this shit.
उसने मेनू English पढ़ना सिखाया.
Oh, okay. She also taught me to read English, it says. A man who can barely speak his own language is now learning the hardest language in the world as well. Rupa, you absolute dork. What are you teaching this man English for? He doesn't know how to do anything yet.
ते मैं उसनू मक्खी पकड़ना.
Of course, and he taught her how to catch flies because that seems like a very even exchange of knowledge. You teach me an English language that billions of people speak. I teach you a skill that maybe 4 people need in their life. Catch a fly. I'm Mr. Miyagi, I guess, from Karate Kid.
एक दिन मम्मी ने पिंड दा पहला टीवी खरीदिया.
So again, another difference on Forrest Gump and Lal Singh is that their family is quite rich. They even have help in their home. It's not to say that Forrest Gump wasn't well off. They did have their family's home and they had a boarding home so that many people came in and came out. The fact is, Lal Singh is quite rich already. In fact, his mom bought the first TV the village has ever had. So he's never had to struggle. And that seems like a bit of a waste in terms of storytelling. Like he's never had to really struggle other than his smarts being an issue. And his mom never made it seem like it was an issue or like that she had any hardship raising him, which sort of defeats the purpose of Forrest Gump. It was about like a single mother who really tried and beyond the kid's expectations, he just kept succeeding.
सारा पिंड टीवी देखण आ गया जी.
Another thing that happens in Lal Singh, and I guess a lot of Indian films, is that you have to marry the girl. But Lal, who's probably 8 years old at this point, somehow understands the concept of marriage to the point that he asks Rupa to marry him. Now, Forrest Gump, as a kid, never asked Jenny to marry him. I don't think that was in his mind. I don't know if he understood the concept of marriage at 8 years old. But Lal Singh, who catches flies for a living at this point, wants to marry this woman. He knows about marriage as a concept. You know what I mean? Make it make sense.
Oh hell no. मेरी एक मासी थी.
मेरी मासी दा नाम मंजीत है जी. वो अमृतसर विच रहती थी.
So then the screenwriter pulls some bullshit out of his ass because yeah, that was the biggest stretch I've seen in a long time.
हम उनके पास चले जाते थे.
सत श्री अकाल.
This is what Diwali is like for anxious people.
अगले कुछ दिनों तक.
So apparently what had actually happened was, I had to look this up because I'm not too well versed in Indian history. Some Punjabi people had eventually assassinated the prime minister at the time, Indira Gandhi, and because of the public and their perception of those people, other people had started causing attacks on the Punjabi people, which was quite a big thing and a violent affair at that time. Something akin to the LA riots of 1992, if you will. It's not the same, but it's somewhat like that. So I had to look this up just to make sure that, you know, I wasn't giving anybody misinformation, but that's what is actually going on in the scene. They don't really say it. It would have been nice if they did, but anyway.
बड़े धमाके हुए. मम्मी बहुत रो रही सी.
बाहर मलेरिया फैले हुए हैं.
Instead of his mom actually telling him what is really going on and explaining that, she thinks that he's so dumb that she cannot really tell him what is really going on and just says there's a malaria epidemic out there. So this man couldn't understand that they're trying to hurt a certain race of people, but he's supposed to understand the word malaria and epidemic in the same sentence. Great work, Lal. Great work.
उस दफा हम अमृतसर विच घर से बाहर ही नहीं निकले. मेरी मासी दा मुंडा और उसदे दोस्त मैनू बड़े चंगे लगदे थे.
He then moves to New Delhi and he hangs out with his cousins and friends. And this is where my favorite cameo in the movie comes from. See, in the original Forrest Gump, they have this scene where they're like, some young man from Tennessee stayed with us. And then it turned out to be Elvis, because he's like, show me that move right there. Because young Forrest Gump like does a little dance with his legs. And in the Indian version, they do something similar. And I think this is a really good scene. I think they ported the cameo super well. And it's probably my favorite part in the movie. So for anybody who knows, that's Shah Rukh Khan, the greatest actor in India. It's my boy. That's my boy. That's not actually him. That's him like digitally imposed. They managed to do that thing where they de-age people or maybe deep fake, which is a very scary concept in itself. But anyway, he does a cameo. So yeah, that is Shah Rukh Khan's like signature move in Bollywood movies, and that's what he does in most of them, and they actually turned that into a cameo, which is just like fantastic. I thought this was amazing. You know, I'm sure everyone in the theaters who watched it must have been screaming because they love this man.
मैंने उसकी काफी पिक्चरें देखी हैं. कुछ कुछ होता है, कल हो ना हो.
I saw those this year. I told you, I got into Bollywood. I didn't know anything about this before this year.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Aho ji, Shah Rukh Khan.
Indira Gandhi, ruler of the world's largest democracy, died today.
I like that. Ruler of the world's largest democracy. Ironic. Oxymoronic. But this is what actually had happened in India. She had been shot down. 2 of her bodyguards who are of Punjabi descent, and this caused the war on that. So this is a scene that is completely devoid of like, you know, Forrest Gump's originality. And I think it's amazing to like explore. I thought this topic itself was something that was quite interesting, and I was looking forward to seeing more of it, but it doesn't really show up or play a part in the movie other than very, very few and far between, which sort of betrays the whole theme of this movie. I thought that this was going to be a bigger plot point, but it just isn't. Yeah, I guess Lal Singh runs away and his mom runs away, and because Sikhs do not cut their hair because of their religion or beliefs, she fears that because her son is going to be targeted, she finds a piece of glass and cuts his hair off, which is a very emotional scene and a very good scene in this movie. And I wish they would keep that theme running, but they never do.
मम्मी मैनू लेके भागी.
I was watching this and I was like, why don't they make Indian zombie movies? Like I was watching like, you know, how the anarchy. Can you imagine Indian zombie hunting? Like, oh my god, he's there. Oh, shit. He's coming. Oh, very slowly though. No, he's not going to make it now, so I'll just wait here till he's good. Make it happen, someone.
पर मैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ बता सकता हूँ कि कदी-कदी चमत्कार होते हैं जी.
So yeah, that is the scene that gets him to have short hair. And like I said, it's an emotional scene, a great scene. I wish they revisited it. But then they go back to their roots of Forrest Gump, where as a child he gets hit with a rock on the head and he does the infamous, "Run, Forrest, run!" But in the Indian version, it's Bhag, Lal, Bhag. Oh my god, woman, can you please help this man? Rupa, he got hit in the face and you just stood there. You just stood there and let it happen. They're still doing them. Help! So, you know, as according to the original Forrest Gump movie, just like it, the braces come off magically. I always thought it was a great movie in cinema. Magic, I thought it was a great scene. And yeah, I mean, they're replicating it 28 years later. It's not as magical, but this is like when Planet of the Apes came out, the original movie, and it was fantastic. And then Mark Wahlberg remade it, and it was, oh my god, what the hell happened? I would pay to unsee that movie if I could. So yeah, Lal decides and realizes he can run like the wind, and he runs everywhere. And yeah, as per Forrest Gump, he's now running. I always love doing the voice. I think it's funny.
एक दिन जी रूपा स्कूल नहीं आई. तां मैं दौड़दा होया उसदे घर चला गया.
Something that Indian movies do not shy away from, which I find very, very stupid. Like, I don't understand the fact that they won't show any sexual acts or anything illicit of that nature, but what they will show openly is like DA. Like, they show it like it's nothing. This movie has so much of it. At one point, which I didn't put in the movie, the help of Lal Singh Chadha, he DAs his wife. And they just have that in there. It's a family movie. Did it need to happen? Did it need to be in the script? It doesn't serve any purpose in the movie. That's why I cut it out. But they just have it so nonchalantly in the movie. I don't know why they're like, if you kiss a woman, that's wrong. But if you, you know, body slam her like The Undertaker, it's fine.
लाल तुम्हारे पास 10 रुपए है?
Oh, hell no!
This man is going to war with his wife for 10 rupees, which the equivalent is 12 United cents, not even $1. So he's waging war with his spouse, the person he said that he's going to love for the rest of his life, for 12 cents. You need to check your priorities, dude. But anyway, Lal's like, no, I don't have 10 rupees. And they stop praying for money because Rupa just wants the money to make sure her family's okay. And unfortunately, something really bad happens after this. Yes, that's right. Unlike Forrest Gump, Jenny's dad, who in the movie Forrest Gump characterizes as, he must really love Jenny and his sister on account he's always hugging and touching them. This is just clear cut. This man absolutely murked his wife to the point she's not alive and then got arrested. So this happens in Lal Singh Chadha.
अमीर नहीं बनाया. रूपा दी मम्मी दे मरण तो बाद पुलिस रूपा नु ले गई. So the police took away Rupa. And the only person that was left in her family was her grandmother, who happens
to be the help of Lal Singh Chadha. Yes, Lal Singh is so rich, he has help.
ਹੋਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਰੂਪਾ ਦੀ ਨਾਨੀ ਕੌਣ ਥੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਫੂਫੀ
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna take a shot for whatever this fucking voiceover is. Also, Lal, someone's parent died. You might want to be a little less happy, you know. That would be good. I don't know if you should be as happy as you are. Rupa parents died. I'm closer to her. Wow.
मैं क्या सी ना कि चमत्कार ਹੁੰਦੇ हैं
Miracles do happen. My God, man. Her mother died, you idiot. Miracles do happen. What the hell is wrong with you? That's like going to a funeral and being like, good riddance. This bitch is gone. What the hell, dude? Lal, chill the hell out.
हमेशा साथ साथ रहंदे सी जैसे आलू दे
I hate how he laughs in the voiceovers. Like they didn't have, that was needless. He could have talked normally in the voiceovers. He didn't have to be like, in the voiceovers. Seriously. I just had a shot. Like it's a bit much. It just never ends. So here's the thing. Lal is now grown up and he's still experiencing the same thing. The boys from childhood are now followed him into university. They enrolled in the same courses just so they could throw rocks at his head. And the exact same thing is happening to him. This is now Amir Khan as an older Forrest Gump.
भाग लाल भाग भाग लाल भाग
That's my favorite thing in all Indian movies. That. I don't know what it is. If anybody could in the comments tell me what that is, what that move is, I will give you some money. I want to do that to people. Come on!
बंदा है क्या रॉकेट है कौन है यो
सर लाल सिंह है सर
होता है सर
So yeah, this is the equivalent of the guys realizing Forrest Gump was a good runner and then transferring him to like the NFL, or sorry, just the football league. He was playing college football. Lal and India don't actually have much of a football correlation. I mean, nobody in India is really big on football. I think it's more an American thing. So he's just a runner in this. And Lal does not really get it. He's still not good at running. They have to tell him to run, just like they have to tell Forrest Gump to run.
अरे क्या कर रहा है यो
भाग लाल भाग
So yeah, Lal Singh's a great runner. He graduated from college by running.
कॉलेज विच मैंने एनसीसी ज्वाइन किया
He also joined the army now, just like Forrest Gump, and he's now noticing that Rupa, who's growing up, is taking an interest in other men.
और रूपा किसी चलने दे कंपटीशन में हिस्सा लेती थी
How did this guy get front row seats to a fashion show? How did her partner get back row seats to it? What? Who is Lal even sitting next to? Why is Lal at a fashion show? What?
एक दिन यूनिवर्सिटी विच अचानक ही छुट्टियां शुरू हो गई जी
So apparently university closed for the holidays, but nobody told Lal Singh, not even his mother. So he's still going to school, wondering where the hell everyone is. He's literally bending over, looking for people in classes. He's now in his 20s, bending over, looking to see people like, hello? Anyone? Rupa? Look at him. He's bending over, looking like this is what happens when you look to see if someone's at a stall in a public bathroom. You look to see if their feet are there and they exist. He's doing that in the classrooms. And you know what the issue is? Rupa's there. She's somehow there with her partner. Even though school is closed, she decided, let's hang out in the only place that I really want to hang out, school. You could have hung out anywhere. In school.
हेलो जी सत श्री अकाल जी
लाल मेरे लिए गोलगप्पे लाओगे प्लीज
आओ जी.
कल पक्का.
Trust me, it's going to get so much worse.
आज नहीं.
So then Lal Singh sees Rupa and her man having a little bit of a quarrel, and he gets angry, but he's not like Forrest Gump in that he punches people. He bitch slaps people. Yeah, that's right. Lal Singh bitch slaps people, and he always gets 2 slaps in. He'll never just get 1. He's a multiple slapper.
हाँ, कल promise कर. लाल, रूपा, क्या कर रहे हो तुम? दूर रह. थोड़ा कम समझता है ना? Sorry.
तो दोस्त के साथ ही रहो.
Harry, रुको.
His name's Harry? Is that an Indian name? Harry? But yeah, Lal Singh slaps the shit out of this guy to the point he leaves, and then he offers Rupa golgappas, and she sits down with him.
क्या किया तुमने? क्यों मारा उसको?
तेनू परेशान कर रहा था.
परेशान नहीं कर रहा था वो. पता है कितने अमीर घर का लड़का था वो?
Yep, so she's like, do you know how rich he is? And he's like, He doesn't know. The fact is, Rupa is growing up and becoming her own woman. In Forrest Gump, Jenny sort of goes on this trip throughout the 60s, and I think the movie's really good in the fact that they explore the 2 different paths that you could go in the 60s in Western America. You could go to Vietnam, or you could have that hippie culture. And the book itself basically showed the difference in like going down the straight and narrow, which is what Forrest Gump did, and what Jenny did, which was experiment, and it got her to those places. I think that the movie basically showed what counterculture and I guess normal culture in terms of wars and adhering to the rules felt like. In this movie, Rupa just wants to be rich, and Forrest Gump, Lal Singh Chadha is a bitch. That's it. Rich bitch.
मेरे साथ ब्याह करेगी तू?
And he asks her to marry him again. This is the 2nd time.
मॉडल बनना है. मशहूर बनूंगी और बहुत अमीर बनूंगी. तुम क्या करोगे लाल?
All right. Okay. So this is what I mean with Amir Khan's acting. Most of his acting just is him looking like Mr. Bean Buck. And I don't know why his eyes constantly are like, I don't know if that can be considered acting as much as it can be considered a parody. I don't know if this is a movie that is faithful to Forrest Gump or a movie that is a parody of it at this point.
Lal Singh Chadha. Hello.
लाल,
मम्मी.
पुत्र अपने कमरे ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ. देश ਵਿੱਚ मलेरिया फैलिया होया है.
Oh.
So they go back to, life, and his mom calls Lal Singh Chadha and says, okay, there's more of a malaria epidemic. I don't know what happens at this period in Indian history, but she obviously is scared about him and wants him to stay home. So she says malaria is happening, so stay home. And Lal does this because he doesn't know any better.
लाल आज प्रैक्टिस पे क्यों ना आया तू? सर मैं बाहर नहीं आ सकता. देश विच मलेरिया फैलिया हुआ है.
होता है सर.
Eventually, Lal Singh graduates, but not before tripping on his own feet. And then he enrolls in the army, which is, the classic scene where Forrest Gump meets Baba. And I was waiting for Baba. And let me tell you, this Baba is a bit of a pervert.
Myself Lal Singh Chadha. दांत क्यों दिखा रहा है? हैं?
My God, man. Like, is this really acting choices you're gonna make? You sound less like a human and more like just an anatomically incorrect robot. That's the longest in a long time, man. It's too long. It's too long. This is not acting. This is just really bad. Bottoms up. I'm tipsy.
मेरा उत्थे कोई दोस्त भी नहीं था.
यहाँ बैठ जाओ.
Holy shit, it's Baba. And he's also got an underbite. Baba was famous for having an underbite. Lieutenant Dan's like, what happened to your lip? If you don't tuck that thing in, you're gonna trip off a wire. And then he's like, my gums are big. That's so cool. They got a guy who did the same. So Baba is famous for liking shrimp and knowing everything about shrimp, and his whole claim to fame is that he starts a shrimping business, which is something that's cool with Alabama, fishing down in the South. It's a thing. In Lal Singh Chadha, they gave their Baba, whose name is Bala, literally the worst thing that I think I don't think you could adapt it any worse than this. Can you guess what it is? Oh, I'll give you 3 guesses. Is it kites, glasses, or is it underwear?
चड्डी पहनती हो?
That's right. It's men's underwear.
आओ जी
कौन सी? A front, B front.
Yeah, that's that's a memeable look. You know what you guys should do is screenshot this and send me memes based on this, and I'll pick a winner. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably just shout you out. But look at his face, man. I just don't understand how this can be considered acting. I don't understand how they could be like, cut, Amir Khan, do you like this? And he's like, yes, this is the greatest shit I've ever done in my life. I would throw away the footage and burn it if this is the case.
पता नहीं वीरे जो मम्मी लेके देंदी है
My name बालराजू. यूनियन के बारे में सब कुछ पता है. फौज के बाद मैं वापस जाके चड्डी.
I like underpants. I like men's underpants. What kind of underwear do you wear? Do you wear a thong? I'm just an underpants fanatic. Let me smell it. Wow, that smells like it's been used really badly. Tons of shit stains on that. What a weird thing to have him do. Out of anything, you could have chose anything for this man to be a part of. He could have made men's shirts or men's clothing. He could have made anything, and he makes men's underwear. Why dedicate your life to men? Are you Calvin Klein?
लाल सिंह चड्ढा जी उस्ताद फौज में तुम्हारी ड्यूटी क्या है आपके हर हुक्म का पालन करना उस्ताद जीनियस जीनियस.
Yeah, so then the lieutenant is like, genius! And he screams that at Lal, and Lal's very good at following orders because in the army, just like with Forrest Gump, it was a pretty simple thing to do. All you had to do was follow the orders that someone told you, which is what Forrest Gump was good at. Anybody who told him to do something, he was able to do. But yeah, Lal is busy with his friend Bala, and they make underwear and also V-necks because they're now starting a clothing business in the midst of the army.
मेरी वाली? मेरा नाना जी बनाई है. मुझे ऐसी चड्डी बनियान बनानी है जो पसीना से गीली ना हो. बहुत बिकेगी. चड्डी बनियान के बिना लाइफ में आराम ही.
So then they go through the scene which Baba explains shrimping to Forrest Gump in many, many different ways, and Forrest Gump doesn't seem to get it, but he eventually does.
दूजी उस्ताद जी दे वास्ते.
So eventually they make underpants for the lieutenant. Very eager to try them on, and he looks at the camera and then goes, genius! And Lal's reaction is that of a kid, a school child. Something that I've never seen Forrest Gump do. Like, the whole point is that Forrest Gump is not privy to these things. He's not aware of how to react to certain situations. He's not socially adept in handling with situations. But as soon as the guy goes genius, Lal Singh's eyes light up and his mouth opens like a clown at a fair. He's like, it's Amir Khan doing the weirdest facial expressions, expecting this to be like his movie of merit. He's expecting this to be the movie that people are like, man, that's the Daniel Day-Lewis of India. This is the Daniel Knight-Lewis of like China, bro. This is not good acting. From a guy who's genuinely a good actor. A very good actor. This is just really bad. You know how Adam Sandler acts in movies and every now and again he acts in a movie and you're like, holy shit, he's a good actor. This is the opposite of that. This is like, oh my god, he's a good actor. Holy shit, he's bad sometimes. Anyway, at the army, one day, Lal Singh wakes up to realize that Rupa D'Souza, his lover, his Jenny, is in the paper and she's being patronized for taking scandalous pictures.
बड़ी मुश्किल विच फंस गई है. उसने कुछ कपड़े पहनने थे जो लोकां नू.
Thank God they write these titles in English even though they're in India. Model arrested for obscenity. I'm so glad she taught him English because if she didn't all those years ago, he wouldn't know what this paper was saying. He'd just look at it and be like, Rupa, I'm going back to sleep now.
Rupa! Rupa!
So apparently he goes to find Rupa and everyone is protesting against her for being scandalous. Again, and this is India, so you can't take anything other than a picture of your ankle if you're a woman, because if you're sexy, God forbid, nobody wants to see that. She's getting ostracized in the media and people are really going after her, and upon hearing other people talking bad of Rupa, Lal Singh brings out his hands. And like I said, every time he slaps again. 1, 2. It was really funny that they got the second slap in, because the first slap, people should have been like, you know, at him, but they're like, hey, 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 hey. Everyone's just like making loud noises, not doing anything with Lal. It was just really funny. He even got a third slap in. I don't know if you saw it. The third one was like a light one on the head. After the fight, Rupa repairs his head that's been knocked off his block, and he once again chooses this period of time to ask Rupa if she will marry him.
मेरे साथ
तुम मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगते हो लाल, लेकिन हमारा कुछ नहीं हो सकता.
Rupa then friend zones him, and Lal Singh does not take this to heart very well.
रूपा, मैं तेनू रोज चिट्ठी लिखांगा.
He's enlisting in the war, and he's going to, he's going to fight the next day, and he says he'll write to her every day, and she just looks at him and says, "You can't write, bro."
बाला और मेरी ट्रेनिंग 1995 में पूरी हो गई जी. 1 साल बाद बाला ने शादी भी.
Oh, I almost forgot. They have a tender moment, him and Bala, his friend, who's getting him to go into the sewing business. Not the shrimping business, the sewing business. This scene itself is just pure chaos in the fact that every reaction that this guy has is more and more stupid. I know he's a simple man, but if he's this simple, he should not even be allowed to carry a weapon.
Family. Chitra. Bhavani. Banu.
Junior Bala.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a shot for the Junior Bala. Junior Bala didn't drink this much vodka, did he?
मेरे business partner बनोगी?
He's like the meme! You know that meme with the side-eye puppet? Let me find it. That meme. He's exactly like that. He's the Indian puppet meme. This is just not acting. This is reacting. And it's really weird. Yeah, cut. Amir, do you want to retake that? No, I think it's good. Why do you want to retake it? I don't know. You look like you've been shot in the penis. No, that's how I wanted it. Okay, all right then. Well, then that's spot on then.
तो दिन में 20 चड्डी बनियान सीती हो, तो बाकी 2 अकस 10 सीएंगे. 3 महीने में प्रॉफिट शुरू हो जाएगा.
Bala is explaining to him the process of how he's going to start basically a clothing company, and he smiles and he's like,
अगली सुबह हमें एक मिशन पे भेजा गया जी.
On the day of the mission, Bala holds him and he's like, "You don't like killing people, do you?" And he shakes his head like he's Lenny from Off Mice of Men or something. Like he's just completely not there in the head.
ये मानना अच्छा नहीं लगता है, हाँ?
You don't like killing anyone, do you? Mr. Khan, Mr. Amir Khan, like, you know, he's not brain dead. You know that, right? And he's capable enough to enlist in the army and things. That wouldn't be an appropriate reaction, Mr. Khan. No, I like it. I think it's pretty good. Oh, okay.
दोनों same to same है. दूसरी के साथ. जैसे तुम चड्डी, मैं बनियान.
Me and you are like a perfect pair. Just like an underpants and a shit stain. It's like when I pee in my underwear and I feel that warmth of the pee just dripping down my legs. You're that pee, Amir. Lal Singh Chada. You are that pee. It might as well have been that, because this is so like phoning at home that this man cannot talk about anything other than vests and underwear in his life. He knows nothing but underwear. Okay, so yeah, the enemy is Pakistan, and this is the enemy right here. And if you ever wanted more indication that he's fighting some sort of heavy army, the guy next to him has a RPG and he looks very sad.
रुको. आने दो रेंज में सालों को.
So I don't know what war they're fighting, but Lal Singh gets blown to bits and pieces, but somehow survives this, even though a grenade hits him maybe 5 feet from him, which should dismember every part of his body, but he's Lal Singh Chadha, and once you're the protagonist, you have protagonist armor, and you can survive this. This is akin to the Vietnam scene in Forrest Gump, which actually took place in Vietnam. But anyway. Lal then gets woken up by Bala, who tells him to run, and then he starts running, just like how he remembered Rupa too, and he forgets that he's even in war. He forgets that he leaves everyone. He abandons the battlefield, so he should have a dishonorable discharge from the army for running away from battle. But apparently he goes back and starts saving people. In fact, he saves so many people, he even saves the guy who was the enemy. And I know what you're thinking. Where is Indian Lieutenant Dan? Well, it's the enemy, guys. It's the guy he saves. That is Lieutenant Dan, the enemy. Also in the process, he realizes his boy Bala has passed away, or is about to. Just like in, you know, Forrest Gump when he gets Baba, and Baba's like, I want to go home. It's a tender scene, and it should be emotional until Lal Singh Chadha decides he's a chiropractor and starts adjusting his head at a velocity that is just akin to like an aggressive chiropractor.
Bala! Bala!
Look at that chiropractic adjustment. This guy could have a career in chiropractic nature if he just, you know, applied himself. Bala! Bala! If he wasn't dead, he would be at this point. Oh my goodness, man. He's dead. Have some respect.
मैं कुछ और नहीं बोलना चाहता.
वो गोली थी ना?
ओह, आओ जी. एक फायदा है जी. कुल्फी. मैं एक दिन विच 18 कुल्फियां खा जाता था.
So Lal Singh, like Forrest Gump, gets brought into the triage ward where people attend to him. He gets shot in the ass by a bullet. And the person next to him is his Lieutenant Dan, whose name is Muhammad Baji. Baji means brother, so his name's just Muhammad, I guess. It's kind of weird once you think about it, because when I watched it the first time, I was like, oh, okay. But when you realize this is the enemy who's in the bed of the people who he tried to kill, it really makes less sense than it should as a movie. You know, he's a prisoner of war. You don't put him next to the people that he tried to murk. I don't know for what reason they think he's now a good guy, but I wouldn't do that. And for some reason, everyone just glosses over the fact that Muhammad Paji over here is just now a good guy. He literally started the war and blew Bala to smithereens. He killed like half the platoon, and he's now Lal Singh Chadha's new best friend because he killed the old one. I would feel sorry for him. I really would. But again, he's the enemy. He's the guy who waged war on everyone. Bala is now deceased because of this man. And he's our Lieutenant Dan.
मेरी सारी चिट्ठियां वापस आ गई थी. शायद रूपा बहुत दिन से घर नहीं गई थी.
So we shortly revisit Rupa after realizing her letters all got sent back, returned to sender. And it turns out she's trying to win herself a role as a movie actress, and she's hanging out with like sort of a mafia boss in India.
उस फिल्म की हीरोइन मैं ही हूँ ना?
तुझे रोहित की हीरोइन बनना है मेरी?
नायक लाल सिंह, 5 लोगों की जान बचाने के लिए तुम्हें वीर चक्र से सम्मानित किया जा रहा है.
Lal Singh also gets awarded a Medal of Valor for saving so many people, including the enemy, who nobody seems to care about, by the way. Muhammad Paji is just getting the royal treatment after trying to blow up everyone. But yeah, the nation's proud of him.
तुम्हें दिल्ली जाना होगा.
जो हुकुम सर.
देश को तुम पे गर्व है.
आज तेरे नाना जी होंगे ना? तां बहुत खुश होंगे.
Yeah, everyone's really proud of him. He's very proud.
Rupa!
So anyway, on the way back after receiving his Medal of Valor, he actually sees Rupa in a taxi. Keep in mind, Lal Singh is shot in the ass. I don't know if you've been shot in the ass, but it pains. I've been shot in the ass, not with a bullet, but a BB gun. I'll tell you, I did not move my ass cheeks for a long time.
Rupa!
He sees her in a cab, and then he realizes his cab is not going to catch up to her cab. So he makes the executive decision that he needs to start walking to save her. But he's still he's still on crutches. At this point in the movie, I lost my shit. I didn't have much shit to begin with, but I lost any semblance of shit that I had because he decided halfway through this, I'm gonna throw the walking stick, the crutch away and start running. If you didn't need the damn thing, why are you using it? Because he starts running and running faster than the cars in India. He sees Rupa finally with her mob boss boyfriend, and then of course, because Eastern cinema, he does a Ric Flair on her. Let's just say that. Instantly, he gets mad and decides to run after her and stuff. As usual, Lal gets a few shots in and everyone's like, without actually doing anything before someone pushes him. And he's so enraged, he pushes all the bigger guys away from him. Unfortunately, the guy gets up without even a scrape and then says because he's part of the army, he respects the army and that's lucky for him. Lal, of course, doesn't know any of this and is just happy that Rupa's okay because he's protecting her.
अरे रूपा, इतने दिनों बाद? हाँ, लाल यही तो है. मुझे इंडिया गेट पे मिलोगे?
मैं तेरे साथ ऐसा कभी नहीं करता.
At the end of the fight, Rupa actually ends up calling Lal and says her boyfriend is out for the night and she wants to meet up. She then has a quiet conversation with Lal and even says he looks good in uniform, to which he adjusts his belt because anytime someone signals him, he has to take it literally.
नू तेरा बॉयफ्रेंड बनना था.
अच्छे लग रहे हो. यूनिफॉर्म में. Handsome.
You know what I mean? Like, stop. Whoa! Sorry. It's just that they have more Forrest Gump music to explain the situation. Wouldn't that be a good movie if Forrest Gump couldn't talk very well, but when he sung, it was the most angelic thing on earth? They need to make that Forrest Gump 2 Redux. I'm singing now. They walk all night and she says that she's going to Dubai tomorrow. Lal Singh says that Rupa shouldn't go to Dubai. She should come home to the farm where she belongs. I think she thinks about it.
तेनू दुबई नहीं जाना चाहिए.
तो कहाँ जाना चाहिए?
I think the only reason she thinks about it is because of this next move that Lal Singh does.
कार चल.
Amir Khan, you don't have to act like a chicken. Action. Cut? I'm just gonna assume he liked that take. I don't know. What are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th shot. Oh my god. I'm not even pouring it into the glass half the time. This is just... I'm drunk.
ते एक बार फिर रूपा मेरी जिंदगी से चली गई.
Now, in Forrest Gump, I always thought the character of Jenny was very interesting in the fact that she never really truly loved Forrest Gump in the way that she should. She knew that she wasn't going to be good to him and his love was too pure for her. And only at the very end, she actually had a kid with him and then died. I mean, she was a bitch to the very end. Jenny, I never liked her as a character. Rupa is the same. They don't actually give the main character any respect until their time is too late. And I mean, this is basically the nice guy story. This is the fantasy of any nice guy. Like, I'm so nice that you eventually end up with me. I feel like a lot of nice guys watch this and they're like, man, if only I was more like Forrest Gump. Anyway, the army's going back to do some shit, and Muhammad Baji finally finds Lal Singh Chadha, And he's happy to see him. For some reason, he's happy to see this man.
मोहम्मद पाजी, तुसी कैसे हो मोहम्मद पाजी?
अपाहिज ही हूं अभी तक। सोचा उसे एक बार मिलके कोस लूं।
Muhammad Paji is not happy. By the way, Paji means brother. So Muhammad is not happy to see Lal Singh Chadha. In fact, he wants to curse him to his face, but feels like that's inappropriate. So he wants to take him to his private place to curse him out, which sounds like a booty call.
छोटे से कमरे ਵਿੱਚ रहते थे ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਲੈ ਗਏ।
तुम्हें पता था मैं कौन था?
So Muhammad then explains to Lal that he was the enemy and not a friend, and Lal Singh Chadha doesn't know this. For some reason, Lal Singh does not have facial recognition and doesn't know that was the enemy.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Doesn't even know him, but somehow knows his name. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't know my enemy's name in battle. I don't think I would have went to the Vietnam War or if I was in World War III and known, oh, that's John. That's John, the RPG enemy. Oh, it's Clint, the sniper. Ugh. And Barry, the flamethrower guy. You burnt my friend to a crisp yesterday. Nice job. I don't know how he knows his name, but of course, why would we ever need to know this? I guess Muhammad is the most common name in the world, so he just went with Muhammad, and the guy's like, yep, that's me.
दुश्मन था बेवकूफ। किस्मत देखो साली। मुझे कंधे पे उठा के दौड़ा मेरा दुश्मन। दारू पिलाओगे लाल मियां?
Muhammad Paji realizes he has no drinks, and this is the New Year scene that Lieutenant Dan is in, where he hires some prostitutes over and then realizes that he doesn't like them once they call Forrest Gump stupid. He also makes a proposal to be on Forrest Gump's shrimp boat and be the first mate, if Forrest Gump actually does it. And this scene is mirrored by Lal Singh Chadha and his business and promise to Bala, who is going to start an undergarments business.
चंगा है ना प्लान पाजी? बाला कहता था कि मैं मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करूंगा, आप बन गए मैन्युफैक्चरर। मैं बन जाऊंगा मार्केटिंग मैनेजर।
He says that he will become Lal's marketing manager if you start a business, implying that he's a stupid idiot. But I just want to say that the scene, again, loses its value when you realize that Muhammad Paji over here is the guy who pretty much killed Bala, because they wouldn't have went into war if it wasn't for him, because he's the enemy. Remember, he's not a friend, he's the enemy. So Bala is not living because of Muhammad. And nobody seems to care about this, and Lal is too stupid to understand it, but this is what the thing is. It's a very weird scene once you know the context. Meanwhile, Rupa is having second thoughts about her life, and she goes up on the ledge and wants to jump. She then sees a plane and is reminded of Lal Singh Chadha. Now, this is mirrored by the scene in which Jenny, who has had a life of taking drugs and experimenting, has then fallen into depression and feels like this is the only way that her life should end, and then steps off the balcony after having second thoughts. The difference with the movies is that in this movie, the audience knows what the reason she gets down the ledge is. In Forrest Gump, we don't actually know why Jenny leaves the ledge or why she thinks against doing what she's about to. We don't need to know, because it doesn't matter. The fact is, we can place our own selves in that position and feel like, oh, if we were in the position, maybe something that we hold dearly to us would bring us off that ledge. That's the beauty of that movie. This movie, she sees a plane and realizes, man, I used to do that for Lal when he touched my titties. And not only that, they revisit it by actually playing a voiceover with some reverb over it.
Rupa.
This is like the equivalent of Jenny getting up on the ledge and then hearing, Jenny, why would you jump? I was running for you. I know what love is. Like, why would you have that reverbed? Oh my god.
तेनू दुबई नहीं जाना चाहिए।
तो कहाँ जाना चाहिए?
कार चल। बाला दे घर वालों से मिलन वास्ते जाओ।
Anyway, Rupa gets down from the ledge after having those, I guess, voiceovers of Lal in her head. But back to Lal Singh. He is fulfilling his promise of going to the place where Bala died and starting the business. He even visits Bala's family.
ता मैं बुड्ढी पालम गया जी। उस दे गांव। उसदी घरवाली से मिला मैं।
Alright, that was way too sexual. What the hell was that about? What is wrong with you? Just because the man died, it doesn't mean she's single. She's a widow. Okay? Just chill out, bro. I thought you had a Jenny. Come on, man. Wow, this is too many shots.
और हमको टेलरिंग का भी कुछ नहीं मालूम।
गांव वालों ने बाला दी समाधि बनाई थी जी। मैं उत्थे भी गया। अपना वादा मैं भूला नहीं हूँ।
So then he pays his respects to Bala. The thing is that with Forrest Gump, he's not actually smart enough to understand financial investing. But man, Lal Singh knows about investments and he knows about how to ask for loans. He even got the loan from his mother. So it doesn't even matter. Like in Forrest Gump, the fact is that this man becomes a massive success by the way that he does things. First of all, it's his table tennis acumen. And he's sponsored by so many people. Then he starts a shrimping business. Everyone gathers around him then. And then he starts running and people see that he's running for hope. And everything he does, he gathers attention from people. Even with his football career. He's constantly in the limelight and succeeding beyond his immense reach. And he's constantly succeeding beyond his expectations because of his simple mind and just following rules to success. Whereas Lal Singh over here is more a person who's just when it's convenient, he knows how to say words like malaria, epidemic, things that are beyond his nature. But when it's not convenient, he'll make faces like,
जो शुरू में 1 लाख रुपए चाहिए ना, उसमें से कुछ तो मेरे पास है.
Like this man doesn't know anything about investing. In fact, later on in the script, he talks about how Muhammad Paji invests for him. So he doesn't understand what investing is. But when it's convenient to the plot, he knows about initial investments and startups.
मैंने 3 मशीनें खरीदी, ठीक वैसे ही जैसे बाला ने कहा था. क्यों हम महीने दे 800 सेट नहीं बेच पा रहे थे? और फिर अचानक एक दिन पता है कौन आ गया?
It's too many for me, man. So yeah, Lal Singh was starting a business. He realized the business wasn't succeeding at all because he didn't know anything about marketing. But Muhammad Paji, the guy who tried to kill him, is probably a good marketer. Because if there's one thing he knows besides killing best friends, it's marketing to people.
Muhammad Paji! Muhammad Paji! Muhammad Paji!
It's like a Disney movie hug, man. In the actual script of Forrest Gump, Lieutenant Dan shows up at a pier and Forrest Gump so happy to see him that he does this. I always found it funny how Lal Singh knows how to hug people and comfort them. In some of the shots, he hugs people and pats them on the back with both arms, which just shows his social awareness and how he's able to understand the situation. And I know that's a little thing, but I am very privy to acting. I like acting. I do acting. And I think it's important to really stay faithful to the script. In fact, I can tell you that Forrest Gump in the movie, Tom Hanks did something when Jenny left on the bus and she did the peace sign to him. Forrest Gump did the peace sign back, and Tom Hanks was such a good actor. It was such a good acting choice. Not only did he do a peace sign there, but with his other offhand, if you look in the movie, he has a peace sign there as well. And I think these little acting choices really contribute to selling the character. So it's kind of a betrayal of the character when you do things like you can suddenly understand social cues, but for other times you have no idea how to navigate them. It's very inconsistent. And that's the thing that I don't like. I'm sorry I'm being picky, but I've had 11 shots or something, and I can't feel my face. So anyway, they try selling their merch, but everyone's like, no, bro, we like Jake Paul way better. And then they're like, all right. One day, Muhammad is watching some Indian films and realizes, holy shit, what do men want? Woman. So instead of naming it Bala underwear, let's name it woman underwear, even though we're selling it to men.
Phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2,
let's name it woman underwear.
Phase 3, profit.
This looks like a business that Scarface would have. I just looked at the background. All that white doesn't look like a clothing business, Lal. You look like you're getting into some trouble, my boy. So yeah, Muhammad's like, yo, write down a woman's name, any woman's name that you know. Lal Singh writes down the only one that he knows, Rupa de Sosa. Now, this is again mirrored by the scene in which they say you have to name the boat for good luck, because what happened in Forrest Gump is that they wanted to start a shrimping business, but the thing is they just couldn't catch any shrimp. And then once he renames the boat, they actually encounter a storm, and after the storm, the only boat that survives is Forrest Gump's boat, SS Jenny, and because there are no other boats that survive, he gets all of the shrimp. And it's a better scene because it makes more sense and it's more logical. In this scene, they just changed the name to a woman's name, and men are like, yeah, I'd like some Rupa on my balls.
क्या आप रूपा कॉर्पोरेशन के मालिक हैं?
आओ जी। पर हर साल एक हिस्सा बाला दी करवाली नू जांदा है। मोहम्मद पाजी ने मेरा हिस्सा पैसे दी चिंता करने दी जरूरत ही नहीं है।
So yeah, Muhammad invests his money, which is akin to Lieutenant Dan investing in Apple, the corporation that made Forrest Gump very rich. I guess this is somewhat similar, but now comes the scene where Muhammad has to leave. This is where Lieutenant Dan learns his, he goes back to his roots. And Muhammad, he needs to go back to Pakistan. They never say it's Pakistan, but come on.
मैंने तुम्हें कभी शुक्रिया नहीं कहा ना।
वेलकम पाजी।
मैंने तुम्हें कभी इबादत करते नहीं देखा।
This is actually a pretty intense scene. They talk about religion in it, and he says that he's never seen Lal pray. He's never seen Lal ever fear a god or do anything like that. And it should be a very intense scene, something that's quite prevalent, especially in Indian cinema, and to a billion people, this should be a poignant conversation. But they throw that out the window and they go straight to the malaria anecdote of earlier, when Lal Singh is like, yeah, my mother used to say malaria. And he says that religion causes malaria.
मेरी मम्मी कहती है कि मजहब से कदी-कदी मलेरिया फैलता है। और रब तो हमारे अंदर है जी।
मुझे अब घर चले आना चाहिए।
So then Muhammad's like, yeah, I need to go home and, sort out my country. I think it's about time I go back to where I came from. And Muhammad leaves, but not before being hugged and comforted by Lal Singh.
दुश्मन दे सोच कर आया था। दरअसल मलेरिया हो गया था मुझे।
Oh my god. He also continues the stupid malaria anecdote instead of actually telling Lal that, God doesn't have malaria. This religion has nothing to do with malaria. It's just a disease that Bill Gates is trying to cure in Africa right now. But everyone just keeps the malaria anecdote up because Lal just doesn't understand what that is.
तुमने मुझे तो बचा लिया, पर वहां अब भी मलेरिया फैला हुआ है।
Oh my god, just please, this movie makes you feel like you have to be Lal Singh Chadha to watch it. You have to be at that level to understand this movie. It's so stupid sometimes. Can we not talk about religion in a better way than there's malaria in my country, I need to solve that. By the way, for any of you who know Amir Khan, he made a movie called PK in about 2014 or 15, and it was a fantastic movie. A much better movie than this. A very well done movie. And he played an alien who did this. And it was more warranted because he wasn't playing a human. A human doesn't look like Lal Singh. An alien, maybe. Yeah, I have to take a shot for that, don't I? Alright, Lal. Alright. You know what? You're drinking me to death, buddy. Bottoms up, Lal.
Hello?
So apparently Lal's mom is sick, and Lal has to get home. This is akin to Forrest Gump when Sally Fields was sick and Forrest Gump had to go home to see his mom.
मम्मी जी की तबीयत बहुत खराब है, आप आ जाओ जल्दी।
Oh shit, it's that doctor from before. That guy who said that, yeah, it's all in your mind. The problem is that his mom's probably dying. The doctor's like, just chill. It's all in your mind. You're fine, bro. That's the doctor. Every time he does anything, people die.
ना जा मम्मी जिंदगी गोलगप्पे जैसी होती है लाल
Life is like a box of Golgappas. You never know what you're gonna get.
पेट भले ही भर जावे मन नहीं भरता
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ।
She had what?
ਗੁਰੂਵਾਰ ਦਾ ਦਿਨ ਥਾ ਜਦੋਂ
This movie's redundance hurts me. She had cancer and nobody knew. She didn't tell you? Was she just keeping it from you the whole time? Why didn't she call Lal? That's her only son. I don't get it.
चल बसी क्या कहती थी
Suck your titty.
क्या कहती थी
I know that's not what he said. It's just what it sounds like. That's all I have to say right now. Suck your titty.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਜੀ ਮੰਮੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਪਰ ਇੱਕ ਹਸਪਤਾਲ ਖੋਲਿਆ ਵਾਹ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਇਲਾਜ ਮੁਫਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੀ
Anyway, after his mom gets sick, Forrest Lal Gump over here creates a hospital for those in need. And of course, the person who's a doctor is the GP, who is the shittiest doctor of all time, who let his mom die and also said that he just needs his mind instead of his legs. I also find the hospital funny because the pediatrics ward is right next to the adult ward. But I guess when you have a GP running your hospital, that is about as good as you're gonna get. Lal then waits on his front porch hoping one day to see Rupa, and she appears. And you would think that Lal sees her because she's walking straight directly in front of him, but he's a bit in his Lal head and doesn't actually realize. Yeah, she's right there, man. You could just... She's not that small. You can see her.
ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਉਹ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਗਈ ਜੀ
Yeah, honestly, I would die if I actually drank more. So I'm just gonna put out 3 cups for like the here. So let's pretend I drank that. There you go. Oh my god, that smile would just, you know, if she wasn't dying, she would be. What is that acting choice? I didn't even say action, but he's doing it. You know what, Amir Khan, we're just gonna keep that in. Great shot, bro.
ਹੋਰ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਜੀ ਰੂਪਾ ਮੁਸਕਰਾਈ
What is that facial expression, dude? Like, what is this acting that you're trying to do, bro? I just don't get it. This is your version of acting. This is not good, Lal. Please. Oh, it's like the Forrest Gump scene when he teaches his kid how to play table tennis. Except it's his wife, and they just suddenly decided that they want to play table tennis for no reason. It has no semblance in the plot. Lal has never shown just any interest in table tennis at all, but okay, sure.
ऐसा लगने लगा
Alright, I'm just gonna add a couple more here for that. I'll count it at the end.
कि हम दोनों अपने आप में एक फैमिली थे जी
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep adding this, you know, because this is just absolute. Wow. Yeah, if I had to drink this, I'd be in the hospital.
अभी भी कहता हूँ उसके पैर बिल्कुल अच्छे हैं.
उस साल दिवाली ते उसने ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵਧੀਆ ਗਿਫਟ ਦਿੱਤਾ.
So then Lal is now gifted shoes, which is the shoes that he has that are very dirty, and that's the shoes that he likes because Rupa actually gave him shoes.
Rupa.
For the 4th time, when they were alone, he asked Rupa to marry him.
मेरे साथ ब्याह करेगी तू?
And then Rupa says, you know, as usual, she avoids the question, but Lal is now annoyed at her.
लेकिन तुम मेरे साथ ब्याह नहीं करेगी क्योंकि मैं स्मार्ट नहीं हूँ.
शादी नहीं कर सकती क्योंकि मेरा कुछ भरोसा नहीं है.
It looked like he was gonna wage war against her. The way he looked up, it looked like he was going to do some of his famous karate chopping to people, man. Wow. This is the scene in Forrest Gump where he's like, I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
मैं होशियार नहीं हूँ. मैंने पता है कि प्यार क्यों होता है.
Lal then runs off into the night. And Jenny Rupa, same thing, realizes that the only way she's going to win him back is by absolutely f***ing him. So she does that. However, in the early hours of the morning, the cops arrive and she is arrested and she goes without protest. It turns out Rupa has had a seedy past because of her mob boss boyfriend.
मैं आऊँ उसे मत जगाइए.
This leads Lal to wake up in the morning realizing Rupa's not there and he starts running, much like Forrest Gump when Jenny leaves.
पता नहीं क्यों बस मन किया. जब शहर भी पीछे छूट गया ता फिर मैं
So yeah, Lal starts running much like Forrest Gump, and in between we get like some sort of backstory about Rupa's boyfriend, who was some sort of criminal who actually mugged 5 people.
पुलिस की स्पेशल टीम ने अब्बास हाजी की गर्लफ्रेंड रूपा डिसोजा को पंजाब के
And Rupa was a witness to this, so she got 6 months in prison. This is not like Jenny. Jenny did not go to prison. Rupa did. As usual, they have a Forrest Gump song, which they explain his feelings because Forrest Gump's unable to explain his feelings, and the audience probably fell asleep, so they need to figure out what Lal Chada is feeling.
भर में दौड़ लगाने वाले एक अतरंगी शख्स से
लाल सिंह जी क्या आप वर्ल्ड पीस के लिए दौड़ रहे हैं
लाल सिंह जी क्या आप नारी शक्ति के लिए दौड़ रहे हैं लाल सिंह जी क्या आप पर्यावरण के लिए दौड़ रहे हैं
I like how he doesn't answer them. In Forrest Gump, he's like, I'm just running. This guy does not answer them, so they just keep following him.
मैं 4 साल 7 महीने
लाल सिंह जी आप क्यों रुक गए हो
मैं थक गया जी मैं घर वापस जा रहा हूं
So after 4 years of running, Lal's like, yeah, I'm tired. I think I'm going to go home, much like the Forrest Gump scene. And this scene sort of like is a bit different, in which the cameras have been following him, and then they say, you know, that's what Lal Singh says. And Rupa is watching him because this is after 6 months. She's got out of prison. And you know what happens if you're a prisoner in any form, shape, or way. You just have a great life once you get out. So she's now working as a nurse because that's what ex-prisoners can do.
और हम आपको ऐसी अजीबोगरीब कहानियां
अजीब पागल आदमी है
बने रहिएगा समाज संचार के
पागल नहीं है वो
Again, I wish they revisited this theme a lot more. Lal's hair grows out, and then he's able to become or go back to his roots of being a Sikh and tie his hair up into a bun and like respect that, you know, religion and culture that he was part of as a youngin'. And like, I wish it was a more prominent part in the story, but it really doesn't play a part beyond that. So I can't really speak on it much more.
आप जब बाहर थे ना तो ये चिट्ठियां आई थी रूपा दीदी की और बहुत दफा फोन भी किया उन्होंने
ए देखो जी रूपा ने मेनू चंडीगढ़ आने वास्ते चिट्ठियां लिखी हैं
So then we realize while Lal is on the train, because Rupa has actually wrote to him, and then he's now on the train to see her, and he's waiting to get to her stop. Much like Forrest Gump, who's waiting for the bus stop, and the lady's like, no, the house is right here. You can walk that distance.
अरे अंकल चंडीगढ़ स्टेशन तो आ गया
अरे सुनिए ये लीजिए
हटो जी
Lal then realizes he's at the station he needs to be at, and he opens the door, and he knocks on the door, and Rupa opens it. She's surprised to see him, and Lal gives her the most creepy look that a man could give.
लाल इतने अच्छे लग रहे हो
Yeah, that's too creepy.
लाल मैंने शायद तुम्हारे साथ बहुत ज्यादती की
Yeah, no shit, Jenny. No shit, Indian Jenny. You did treat him badly. All you wanted to do was get money and to have sex with your boyfriend who killed lots of people, and now you went to jail, now you're back. And guess what? The problem is, the one night that they spent together, they had sex, unprotected, because Lal doesn't know what a condom is. He barely knows what anything is. He only knows malaria. And now they have a kid. A mini Lal Singh Chadda.
मामा
उठ गए बेटा ये देखो मेरे सबसे अच्छे दोस्त से मिलो
हेलो अंकल
Yeah, you call him uncle today, but he's your daddy tomorrow, bro. That's gonna be a confusing affair for you if you don't learn to call him daddy.
नाम की है इसदा
अमन अमन चड्डा
ए भी चड्डा है
हाँ
So Lal is now like realizing, oh my god, Indian Jenny has a Indian kid and his name is Aman. She should have just named it Lal. He would have probably been a little more privy to the situation, but he's getting there.
क्योंकि इसके पापा भी चड्डा है लाल सिंह चड्डा
इसके पापा का नाम भी लाल सिंह चड्डा है
Oh my god, I just can't. I can't. Someone slap him across the face 2 times, please. His IQ goes from 100 to 2 in a second.
लाल तुम ही इसके पापा हो
Lal starts breathing really heavy. I mean, it seems like he's having second thoughts of visiting Rupa. He's like, oh shit, this is what you call me here for? I just called to tell you that I'm rich, bitch.
ये स्मार्ट है या फिर मेरी तरह
अपनी क्लास में सबसे तेज
Just like Forrest Gump, Lal says, you know, is he smart or is he like me? Which is a very touching scene. And I think, you know, it's well acted and stuff. So this is, you know, it shows Amir Khan is a talented actor. And I think he is. It's just that it came very late after lots of and after me being drunk. Yeah, alright. I'm just gonna put that there. I ran out of cups, so.
लाल, मैं बीमार हूँ. ब्याह करोगे मुझसे?
Damn it, Jenny. Indian Jenny, I'm sick. Will you marry me? You suck, bro. And you know Lal's gonna say yes because he's been waiting his whole life to get his tonsils wet from your kiss. Oh, God. So Jenny gets sick. Indian Jenny gets sick and asks Lal to marry her. So, of course, you know, he says yes. He's so happy he does that. That was probably his vows. Do you take this, man? Okay, alright. Yeah, so they have like a fourth song. I just skipped this one. This was too much for me. Lieutenant Dan didn't show up. I mean, he did sort of show up on the internet. He actually didn't come visit. Yeah, there he is, Muhammad Paji. He didn't even turn up to actually see the man who saved his life. He's back home in Pakistan helping all the children. But yeah, Muhammad Paji didn't come. I don't know who any of the people at Lal's wedding was because I don't think he made any friends besides that. But I guess this is just plot convenience. But while they're raising their kid, he's also watching Jenny die, and eventually she goes to her early grave. What she died of, I don't know. In Forrest Gump, it's very widely speculated Jenny died of AIDS in the AIDS epidemic because of her loose culture in the 60s and the lack of knowledge towards the situation and lack of cure. And again, it provides a good timeline to culture and the zeitgeist of Western culture at that time. Over here, it's more of just a story that happens to be a story. She showed no signs of her being sick at any point. She did nothing to possibly make her sick. Again, with Jenny, her sharing needles, living that life, a lot of the decisions she made might have influenced her to become sick. It's very different with Rupa, who just wanted to be an actress. I just think all of these things matter in the grand scheme of it because the book is so solid. And yeah, these people just shit all over it. Oh my God, it's the same doctor. She's not gonna live. It's the same doctor. Your mom died. Your legs almost failed you. She's not gonna live, bro. Why don't you get a better doctor? So anyway, Rupa's in the same bed that his mom was in because, you know, one death isn't enough in that bed. That's the deathbed of anything.
मैं तारे गिनदे गिनदे भूल गया बस सुकून ही सुकून
काश मैं तुम्हारे साथ होती उस वक्त
तू थी
Yep, so Rupa passes away and Lal then gives his little speech on how things are going in life, just like as Forrest Gump did when he talked to Jenny after she passed away. Keep in mind, this is a very simple man. Shouldn't get philosophical. But I'll tell you what, man. Rupa dying makes him a very philosophical thinker.
कैसी है तू मैं ठीक हूँ
How are you, Rupa? Oh, you're dead. I'm fine. I'm alright.
अमन भी ठीक है नवे स्कूल में जाने वाला है बहुत स्मार्ट है मम्मी कहती थी कि
Oh my God, Mom used to say. Mom's still saying shit.
हर एक दी अपनी तकदीर होंदी है
Mom used to say, I think that's anybody. Each of us has our own destiny. What? That's just a normal thing, bro. That's like my librarian used to say, return your books. What?
यही कहते हैं कि सारा कुछ लिखा होता है मैंने नहीं पता कितने लिखा है सब किसने लिखा है और क्यों लिखा है जो लिखा है
Oh my God, he's so philosophical. I don't know who wrote Life or why Life was written or where it was written, but I know one thing.
I know that you had a nice ass, and I wish I hit it more than once.
मेहनत करनी है जिन्नी तेरे
Yeah, so after being super philosophical, something that Lal shouldn't do as a character, they finally revisit the first scene of the movie and he goes to school.
I love you, Puttar.
I love you, Papa.
His son does something cute and says he loves him and then hugs him and then goes off to school. And the feather from the start of the movie escapes Lal's book and then goes off into the distance, bookending the story. And that is how the movie ends. That is Lal Singh Chadda, the greatest movie of all time. Indian Forrest Gump in a nutshell. It took me 20 shots to get through him saying, And I'll tell you what, I was being conservative because I could have had more. But I want to wake up tomorrow. Essentially, that's how much I had. Just because of him saying, Amir Khan, again, a great actor, but what a failure of a movie. Most of the Indians did not seem to like it in terms of cinema. People found it very weird. They found the language changing to be odd. And although nobody seemed to have a problem with the performance, I do. Because I don't think opening your eyes widely and going, qualifies you to be someone who's a simple man. I think that just makes you a air horn that has come to life. So a sentient air horn. If I had to watch this movie again, I wouldn't, and I don't think I will. Watch Forrest Gump. It's a great movie. And I'll tell you what, if the guys from Bollywood want to make a movie remake, please, for God's sake, make the Titanic. I really want to see Indian people dancing as the ship sinks. I just think it's necessary. Thank you for watching my review. I hope you're here for the next one. I am drunk. Bye-bye.